Now, as the developers of the app, we can of course see what's printed inside our debug console. So when I press on one of these buttons, we can see that our timer is firing and we're getting our countdown for our egg timer. But of course, the user can't see any of that. So how can we relay this information to them in an intuitive way? Well, one of the ways we could do that is by using something called a progress view. The progress view will help us show the user how much time is left until their eggs are done. We'll use the progress view to visualize the value of seconds remaining. So if we go back to our main.storyboard, press the plus button and search for a progress view, then you can see that this will be able to show a lengthy task is underway and indicate the percentage that has been completed. So we could use this to show the percentage that our egg is complete. So in order to use it, we're going to drag it onto our screen. Now notice that I've got a vertical stack with 3 things in it: a egg stack, a title view, and a timer view. So I want that progress view to go into the existing timer view. So making sure that it's indented like this under the timer view and then drop it in. So that now goes inside my timer view. And now I'm going to select my progress view and then I'm going to pin it so that it's 0 pixels from the left and from the right of the containing view, so the timer view. And once I've added those 2 constraints, I'm going to make sure that it's vertically centered in its container so that it's right in the middle there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this progress view from a normal sort of default progress view to a bar. And the reason for this is because I can now go into my constraints and actually give it a height. So I'm going to make it 5 pixels high so that we can actually see it better. And once that's done, then you can see it's now a square bar that looks something like this. And we're going to change some of the colors so that it stands out a little bit better. So making sure that you select the progress bar instead of the timer view. We're going to change the progress tint, so the part that's already done, to the system yellow to match our yolks. And the track tint, so the part that's not done, we're going to change it to system gray. So now we've got a part that's done and a part that's not done. Now, the way that a progress bar works is you can see that it has this property called its progress. And when it's 0.5, it means the progress is going to be halfway. If it was 0.1, then it's going to be 1/10 of the way. So it goes from 0 all the way up to 1, essentially. Now, here's a challenge for you. Without changing anything in the attribute inspector, can you write some code so that when you press one of these egg buttons, the progress bar goes to 100%? Have a think about that. Pause the video and try to complete the challenge. All right, so first things first, we need to link the progress bar to our view controller with an IB outlet. So making sure that you're dragging not from the timer view, but the progress bar, and that when you see the type here, it should say UI progress view in the dropdown. So let's name this our progress bar and hit enter. And now we can go into our view controller, have it full screen to see what's going on, and we can change our progress bar. And what we're going to do is we said as soon as one of the egg buttons get pressed, we're going to change our progress bars. And remember the property that we were changing before when we were making this bar move around was the progress property right here. So we're going to do the same in code. So we're going to tap into the progress bar. We're going to use the dot to find its properties, and we want this particular property. So the current progress shown by the receiver, which is the progress bar. And notice that over here it tells you what data type it needs. So it wants to have a floating point number. So now if we hit enter, we can set it to equal 1.0, which is basically 100%, and it's expressed as a decimal point number. Now if we run our app and we press on any of the buttons, it will increase our progress bar straight up to 100%. We're getting closer to achieving what we want, but we're still not quite there yet. We still have to adjust our code a little bit. Now, before I show you how we do it, I want you to really pause and think about how you might tackle this problem. At least list down the logical steps which you might change the code or you might think would work to make our progress bar show the amount of time that remains. So pause the video, have a think about that, and once you're ready, head over to the next lesson and I'll show you how it's done.